Ladies and gentlemen, hold on tight. I hope y'all are ready for tonight's event. Oh, yes. There we go. Because this is Eugene, Oregon's only known weekly poetry. This is a place of self-expression with twists and turns on all fronts. Every week, poets everywhere gather in this sweaty back room, cheering each other on. Old styles, newly pioneered styles. This is no competition. This is page 2 poetry.
Fuck yeah!
At Cush, in the heart of the chest cavity of Eugene, Oregon. I am your host and benevolent overlord, James Otter.
Benevolence is the key.
This is no poetry slam, although we do have slam poets sometimes. This is no sudden death poetry event. This is the place where we give the lonely hearts a moment of our time to hear their words. This is a place where we get to go on journeys into the mind of many different readers. Sometimes it gets scary. But don't worry, we have not yet suffered any poetry-related fatalities. I cannot stress how grateful I am to see you all here, supporting this event and its performers, because audience, I love you.
And we love you.
And performers, I love you too. Can I get a fuck yeah for the performers?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Now give yourself a fucking fuck yeah.
Fucking fuck yeah.
There we go.
We love you, man.
If you brought your child and are not comfortable with them hearing adult material, you may leave anytime. Because here at Page 2 Poetry, I do not censor for content. However, I do not allow racist hate speech. It is a gray area, but goddamn, this is a poetry reading, not a KKK rally. Prepare your ears, because tonight is going to get crazy. You couldn't pay for entertainment this good, because it's fucking free. All of you who come each and every week, and some for the first time, y'all make this happen. For you new people who are performing, you get 8 minutes. All works must be original. And by getting up on this stage, you consent to be live streamed on Page 2's YouTube channel. I don't edit for content. I already mentioned the racism thing, but I also don't like homophobia or derogatory attacks on anybody who comes here. That shit's not welcome. This is all obvious. And you're all beautiful. Look at you guys. If you don't think you're beautiful, trust me, I know you're beautiful. Ah, yes, and you make this happen just as much as I do. Can I get a fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah! All right. Anyway, I got a brand new poem for y'all.
Woo!
It's kind of intense, so, you know, prepare yourself.
It's James.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Let's discuss social experiments. The year was 1955. In the traditional lunatic asylum was a place of torture and escape. Lobotomies and electroshock therapy were definite cures for such ailments as sadness, hyperactivity, and erratic behavior. Many patients feared for their memories. Others assumed the world was out to get them. In this case, they were correct. because too much personality was a sign of illness. And so we tricked folks into the office. Nobody had to trick them. We could have asked orderlies to bring them with force, but it was the promises we made that kept the crew coming. A sharp little probe in the brain could resolve suicidal thoughts, and memory loss could be one of the best ways to make every day seem new. I was a pro at the procedure. Having my doctorate in modern medicine, psychiatry, and social psychology helped me manipulate the filth-covered masses into my office, where they would willingly throw away the parts of themselves that made these folks quirky or interesting and, most of all, hard to control. I say it's better to have an army of pigs plowing the fields mindlessly, whistling zippity-doo-dah-day, than the screamers and the crawling, eye-gouging majority. My needles were like screwdrivers for the nuts and bolts, a nail puller for the pain receptors and the file cases of nymphomaniacs. I simply tested the voltage and determined whether my own madness would ever land me on the opposite side of the leather straps. I feared the sound because 7 days of screaming delusions about the Easter bunny crawling around in my mother's rotten skin were scary enough to concern me of theft. I worried that one day I would lose my license and the state would soften up. I would lose my job and wind up a victim of my own inventive means of social manipulation and boiling hot tubs. Not too likely, because I am an expert in my own field, and never would the Gooble Dobbles think to rebel, because the smart ones know I am only trying to help, not to hurt, though the truth does hurt. It hurts like a needle through the eye. I can handle the pain, the screams. They trust me because I am a doctor after all. And apples will only give me a reason to think you're trying to convince me you're on good behavior. I know better. I would be scared too if I was in your shoes. And when you're scared, you look to the side. Maybe not as intentionally as one would assume, but that tells me you're lying. And I hate liars. The news media calls my procedure medieval torture. Those fools don't get it. Back in the medieval times, we just burned the crazies in big flaming piles of cooked meat. Medicine has come a long way since leech and parsley, sheep's hearts and leather masks. Don't expect me to have all the answers. I have my solutions. But those are merely to keep my tools sanitized before I decide what needs to be forgotten. I find hypnosis to be a great therapy before a procedure. Keeps the spirits rested so they won't one day think they can back down from their medicinal brain scrubbing. Adding and subtracting the cancerous gray matter that has done so much harm. I am a good man. And you may want to look at me with those savage eyes. I will show you peace of mind. Will I sample a piece of your mind? There is always use for the excess cranial snot under a microscope. I come closer to figuring out the cause of schizophrenia, manic depression, and the other illnesses of the lobes. The brain is, after all, the next most important organ after the heart. So what's wrong with learning a thing or two about it? I only want to help. Call me misguided all you like, but I went through 10 years of medical school. And I have been studying this subject since the 1930s. You think mental asylums are bad now? I remember a time when things were worse. And my procedure I so loved was simply a punishment. Now it is a blessing to my patients. To return to an innocent time when free will wasn't even a concept yet. I love my job. And you can keep hating me because I will never stop. Not until I have learned the answer to my questions. Now, get out of my office. I have work to do. And if you say a damn bad thing about me, I will sue your newspaper and see you in my office as a patient. Good. See you later. I look forward to reading your article in next month's paper. Yeah, I know, an edgy start.
Is it safe over there?
Actually, it is safe. And it's new and improved.
Okay.
Yes, there's all kinds of people back there who will attend to you. Anyway, let's give a nice round of applause to my good friend Andrew.
How's it going, everybody? Hot. It is hot out there, huh? This poem is entitled On Awareness. The culmination of a lifetime is now. Well, now. And if now would be enough for us, we must let go of such and such and such and such. No matter how much such and such may mean to us, it is through a multitude of so much meaning so much to us that we miss what is actually in front of us. For we have colored now with then and tainted the future ahead of time with our stupid expectations, and forgotten a long time ago how to live in harmony with the present if we ever knew. And now, if we would take that standpoint of observation, it would become clear that this normal but dysfunctional approach to this moment is not only a continual source of misery in our lives, but also the world filled with folks around us. And we can get as far as knowing this and not change. Because the habits are ingrained, because even if we try to change, we get all hung up on trying to change. Then, if we are honest, every unwanted feeling remains, then disappears, only to reappear again. Everyone finds themselves in that turbulent place from time to time. Sigmund Freud, concluding his book, The Psychopathology of Everyday Life, summarizes hundreds of pages by saying everyone is a little neurotic, just most don't need to go see a doctor. In other words, you're all a little bit crazy, but still functional. Congratulations. What you see in the loony bin is your everyday mind turned up a few decibels. Now, what does this tell us about ourselves? To some extent, this is an overarching answer to an overarching question founded on an idea many would be hesitant about, but I'll give it a shot because why not? The mind is aware, but then it gets all tripped up being aware of being aware of being aware, trying to hold on to things that can't be held on to, having too many goals to count, worried about the future that hasn't come, and heartbroken over the past eternally gone. The mind wrestles, as it were, with phantoms and wrests itself from itself because the illusions appear so real, when actually a good crisis will teach you you have it not that bad. And many may as well choose to be happy and content if you're going to choose to be anything. Isn't this more important than employment? Isn't this more important than education? And yet people will always find fault with contented people, because if you haven't taken the leap of self-contentedness, acceptance remains a concept that needs to be justified by outer circumstances. Now, what would we become if we stopped trying to change but only came at this moment fresh, with an open heart and open mind? We would not fall dead for trying not to. We would, like river water, flow effortless in our efforts. Yet it would take a while for the phantoms we wrestle to totally dissipate. And that is as it should be, since we have given so much life to them. So furthermore, this human enlightenment is no row, row your boat, life is but a dream sing-along. Though children's songs contain certain truths, the unfolding of mental forces today proceeds from yesterday. Whatever anxiety, whatever anger, whatever. Therefore, the consequences of our mishaps must be accepted. In storms, what bends best survives. Then, as a matter of pragmatism, the best thing we may do for our future selves is not to worry about them. And the best thing we may do for our past selves is lay them to rest. And for both of these and the existing self, right now, just let go of everything up till now. Just let go, like a free breath you can't hold. You can only respect and appreciate and be thankful for what is there, culminated in this now, a radiant, luminescent awareness, which like a laser beam shines specifically through you, and no flux of thought or feeling or tragedy of life or mind could leave you barren from this great treasure, which has been overcomplicated by all the disciplines which study it. The mystic sees the light and feels love. In a realm discursive reason and empiricism has no hold of. Toward the man or woman in the mirror, toward the stranger or friend or foe out there, awareness and compassion go hand in hand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Indeed. Oh, man. It's funny you mentioned Freud.
Freud.
Yeah, no, he's a little more compassionate than those doctors I was talking about. Anyway, let's give a warm welcome to Charles.
Charles!
If I read half my poems, you're going to think I plagiarized Andy. All right, so last week was my first time here, and I enjoyed reading. It's the first time I'd done that for years and years. But what was really amazing was listening to all you guys.
Yeah.
I went home from here, and I could not go to sleep for 2 hours, and it was already 2 hours past my bedtime. So this is cool. All right, these are from the last few days. If you choose to, close your eyes, and let's play the what if game. The first one's just for fun. What if What if God was just a construction foreman or a maintenance man for this universe? And the multitudes of universes all had their own gods. Would they unionize? What if you could hold one thought in your mind through each waking day? Could you see yourself on a speck in space? How far out would be your point of view? What if you saw every face on the street as your own, and in that variety recognized every phase of your life? How would it change your sense of self? What if you could live forever, starting right here, right now? Would you get that medical degree, dance, learn to write in runes? What if every ancestor in your family walked with you in all your days and nights? What stories would they tell you? Would you know if you began to channel them? What if everything was perfect in its becoming? What if? The word I cannot find. Serendipity. The gift of finding something not sought after. Synchronicity. Coincidental movement or existence. The occurrence of acts, events, or developments in time. I am looking for the next word. I would know its definition if I heard it, but I cannot express it to you. A poem is the only key. When you feel that you are locked out, when I myself am locked out, when you are broken and cannot heal, when I am broken and cannot heal, when the small child in you cries inconsolable, when I cry inconsolable. A poem is the only key you will ever need. Remember though, each time one is turned and you hear the lock sigh its release, you must let it go. When another key is needed, reach for it anew. Until one day there may be no more doors to block your way. Then, if you can, turn back and hold them open for others. This one's untitled. When it is time for the Last Supper, ring the dinner bell and call for the 12 disciples. But weren't there 13? Why has she no chair at the table? Even Judas finds a place. Is it because for all the time of man before he came, she kept the door open between worlds? Was it the consolidators, manipulators, rewriters, the monarchies and priests, who in their desire for armies and crosses in the sky slaughtered for control? Now we stand over the grave of our buried mother, ground soaked in pagan blood, and we must pay with our lives, give up our mortal souls for the guarded, ungranted access to the garden's open gate.
The train lights. seconds? Does he have to?
I don't think so. You can wait.
Oh, you have 4 minutes. So yeah, you could like spare a minute.
Okay, I'm good. If that's as loud as it's gonna get. Okay. So I had a really funny thing happen. A lot of synchronicity these days. I was buying a birthday present for my daughter at Macy's. So this is birthday and the peridot studs. You with the flirtatious eye, taking your own sweet time at the jewelry counter. There, that eye again. Studs indeed. Now you're just toying with me. Transaction completed. You wandered off with your twin sister. 2 pearls aglow in silver and moonlight. Me, heart a smile and laughing, pulled out my card, and with my best, all suave and debonair, here, my cell phone number, call me. Oh, the look then, a child's joy superimposed on the body of a real woman. But it was your sister who took the card. Who then is the real temptress? Later is a story unto itself. Postscript. I will bare my soul to you, but I will never become naked. Last one. What do you really want? Do you really want a poem that gives you everything on a silver platter, delivered on the fingertips of an uncomplicated mind, with all things explained, all mysteries revealed, the simple form with its little boxes checked, happy, sad, other? Or do you yearn for the mystery in words and their inexplicit references to the other worlds in you? Would you strive to delve deeper, even furrow your brow, to uncover the new emotions you had forgotten you have? Would you pace, paper in hand, your mind so occupied and your body restless? Let me go with you then, that I may hear your secret yearnings. Read to me from your formless list, endless and growing. Wait. Here, a canvas. Paint with rainbows of light, the epic haiku.
Oh, wow. Poetry is the key. It really is. He's completely on point. You're completely on point. Charles, are you published? You should
Not
be.
yet.
I think everyone here should be, but man, you might.
We have an idea for poetry, adding poetry to your walls.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I talked to Josh. He's the store owner, this guy with the red hair. Anyway, I want to make a couple announcements that I didn't make in the intro. The first one being someone left the lights on in their car. I have no idea whose car it is, but you know, it's important to know. The other announcement, which is a lot more, that's also very important, and that y'all should focus on here. Okay, poetry's now be starting earlier. Starting next week, sign-up's going to be at 7 o'clock. The show starts at 7:30. And we'll be running till 10 at the latest. Anyway, with all that said and done, I'd like to call up to the stage Darlene. So, yes, give her a round of applause. There we go. Fuck yeah.
Hi guys, I wanted to say before I start that this is my 1 month anniversary in Eugene.
Yay! people here for providing me with a place that feels like what I imagine home to be. This first poem is called Personally, I Prefer Daffodils. I'm just trying to get the light right.
Can you get closer?
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Better?
Every time I touch it.
It's
It's
okay.
okay at that level to just get closer. Yeah.
It's all right.
Ah, thank you, Steven.
Helping the lady.
Thank you.
Don't be shy of the mic.
Okay, this is called Personally, I Prefer Daffodils.
Here, I'll get
She picks the petals of daisies. Does he love me? He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me, does he? The question always surfacing at the top of her mind, the tip of her tongue. Need I remind you? Years spent waiting in the wings. Years cast back out like a shadow on the ground, always yearning to be touched, to be seen. This love is a dream, replaying every night, closed behind eyelids. These doors are shut tighter than they seem. Years, does he love me? Years, does he love me? Years, need I remind you? Years. Maybe the one who kept you waiting wasn't ever worth your time. Keep losing my spot. Years. You were so focused on being the shadow that you never saw the light inside. Years. Wasted on some dead-end boy with a dead-end job whose path went nowhere and offered you nothing but a dead-end love. And I don't need to tell you how many years you have ahead to find someone who makes you forget about the daisies, who lights up your world so brightly there are not any more shadows for you to hide in. Years of pain and isolation when all you ever had to do was turn on the light. Thank you. So this next poem I actually read my first time here, but I have a group of friends in the back who have never heard it. So I hope you guys don't mind, but I could also use a reminder.
Do it.
Oh, of course not.
It's called philophobia, which is the fear of emotional connection with friends, family, or loved ones. I am a hopeless romantic. And by that I mean I don't hope for any romance I don't want. I've seen mountains crumble, bridges fall, skin crawl, all because of me. I've got a wide heart, pumping beats of compassion and tragedy, remembering as every tear falls, heartbreaking phone calls steer clear of me. Because if in your wake you leave a trail of bleeding hearts, maybe the part you need to start at is looking within yourself. Take a glance in the mirror. I hope it becomes a little more clear that the problem has never been everyone else. I need you to know that alone doesn't always coincide with lonely. That love is a dream conceived by minds that are terrified of insignificance. But I have found significance, or so I'd like to think that I have found significance in the life of a drifter, never burdened by anchors pierced through my heels, a phantom that passes through these halls. Every step I never take is a heart I'll never break. I have become the master of walking away. And no matter how hard I try not to, every life I touch leaves a scar. And the greatest gift I could give you is the distance I push us apart. Thank you.
No, thank you. And for the record, I'm happy hearing any poetry. Poetry's awesome. It's awesome that you keep coming back. Happy 1 month anniversary. Yes. Speaking of lots of people who I'm happy that they come back, I'm really happy that Steven's here. Steven Blue.
Steven.
entrance is good. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I'm Stephen Blue, and I am producing and hosting the poetry stage at the Festival of Eugene. I've been telling everybody about it for the last couple of months, but it's this weekend. So if you're coming, come by the poetry stage and see us do some awesome spoken word. We're having an open mic on Saturday at 2 p.m., so bring some poems and read with us. I've got flyers, so if you want some information, just come and grab one. So I've been working so hard on getting this event together that I really haven't had time to work up something. So I'm just going to give you a couple of old pieces. But after hearing Charles read, I had to pull this poem out of my first book. This is from my very first book, and after you read that poem about the Last Supper, so this is called "She's Coming." For you and me, it's a time of trouble, feast or famine, wherever we go. It may sound too simple. Yes, it's true. But help your brothers is what you've got to do. That's still it, don't you know? The second coming will show. The second coming will be as a woman. Nurturing and compassion is what will show. It's got to be, don't you know? It's what we need now to grow higher spiritually. Can't you see all the waste we make in our haste? We leave behind so much trash to get there too fast. But where is it we are going? Do you think you know? You may think you're growing now, but the second coming will show. The second coming will be as a woman. Nurturing and compassion is what will show. It's got to be, don't you know? It's what we need now to grow higher spiritually. Bride of love brings the light to shine on our needs. Coming soon to a state of mind near you. So, here's a couple of pieces of what you can expect to see from me at the poetry stage this weekend. So I grew up in Los Angeles, the big city, Pasadena, Hollywood, and Venice Beach to be exact. And so a lot of my poetry has the sensibilities of growing up in the big city. So this first one is basically it's the sad story of a lonely inner city flower. The solitary existence of a daisy. Insignificant amid the towering concrete and glass structures and midtown shuffling pedestrians, I live virtually unnoticed. My sturdy stem struggling up through the crack of a weather-weakened crease of the seemingly never-ending squares of this man-made walkway. My delicate yellow petals hungrily reaching for the sun, undisturbed, except by the passing gusts of swirling city dust on their way to settling in dark corners of trash can cluttered alleys. Oh no, watch out, thwack! A passing foot kicks me into oblivion. So I was sitting in Venice Beach in a sidewalk cafe on a Sunday morning, watching the waves and drinking a cup of coffee. Yeah. And this poem poured out of me, fully formed, and I've never changed a word. It's about being in the moment. It was titled Serendipity Sessions. In the far-reaching furrows, on the frontier of the future, beyond the fear-founded feelings of failure, lies this moment. Precariously perched in the present am I, and I tumble in thoughts of the true path of passion seems the fashion these days, and I find I'm amazed by the simplest things that a fresh moment brings. Can I linger here long? May the seconds tick slowly as I slip through the shadows of serendipity sessions. For the plans that are painted from the palette of presence are most promising and pure and profound. And it's nice to be around. Do I sense these sensations for the same round of reason that I'm writing these rhymes to arouse you? Are moments just fleeting by, tricklings of time I may come to? I'm here now. I passed them. They're through. Remember them fondly. They spark something new. The next measure of moments that surround you.
Woo! Come and see us at the poetry stage this weekend at Skinner Butte Park. It's completely free for everybody. Seriously, check it out. It's fucking awesome. I'm gonna be there. Other people are gonna be there. Andrew's gonna be there. And that is way better than that Eugene celebration schlock. Here, $20 to go buy more shit. Ha! I can talk crap. Anyway, let's give a round of applause to Mr. Argent.
Argent!
Take it away.
Press X to continue. Now menu, go into inventory, select item drops, exiting open for world map, beginning save game. What will we need to leave behind? Burn, 3 tall eucalyptus stays, wrench loose with Golden Gate Park. Hard to break, hard to shave, whittle, cut, or even shape uncured. Piled eucalyptus forms the most violent, flammable risk deadfall in this part of state. What else? Save 42% batch eucalyptus oil. Rendered boiling leaves on low heat until emerald hue. What else? Go into item shop swap. Drop Goodyear sneaks for prison yard penny loafers. What else? Blue bead now clues from chrome ring. The one she bought me. Replaced with sodalite chipping. The one I bought. Sodalite index now. What's next? Entire life's work in poetry. Everything ever written previously. All of it. What next? Both sets of glasses I'd expected to get back on return home. What next? Enough? Continue from last save. Press X to continue. Select menu. Go into everything, every word, every object. Why this long invention? What gives these meaningless lists of sentimental objects, incomplete chunks of tools, a place of some sort of archive, discard list, frequent loss of those few things charged with a priori upgrade attached, tokens, things over which I made what amounted to no more than a maniac's prayers for aid, and a performative gesture to be reminded of, things for which I had no business taking less seriously than prayer. Each object was a trophy of my own medicine, barely processed before lost. Luck was a lake I tossed my rock in. Antipodiety, a bead necklace, once my wife's, but the drugs did it away, and depression did away with my name, and the phone numbers, and the Atlantic Ocean did away with the necklace, took the beaded cord holding it from around my neck when I went skipping dipping with a girl I didn't even like. See? Oh yeah, almost. Oh yeah, rose-colored lenses, so that she could see the world through the eyes of love more often. Briefed quickly over the general rules, I am immediately inducted into the old building. Doors painted steel on splintered frame, master lock, combination of that old year of the war, 1820. Shocking in its silence and in its space inside. 1820 square feet of nothing. Once was a Jehovah's Witness church. Once after, a condemned dive bar. Today unspace. Now sanctuary floors are eaten into by sanding. No standing square inch of it unscathed. The decay had gotten into it even deeper than the power sanding afterward could reclaim. Gouges of bald hardwood in a few dozen obvious ruinous places. And mold waited in the wings, breath abated by the airflow and barred window banks. Bailey's voice comes in from behind, a little wrathful. The number this shit will do on your larynx. Last time I was in here, man, too much time on the guitar. No good. Don't even let yourself stay inside for longer than a minute. And I mean that for your own good, too, dude. He seemed right about it, from the feeling it gave me getting in there. The air was a faint but swamp-soaked, sad thing, dried up to a papery but still poisonous tang. A noxious reminder of fence posts, rot black and putrid underground. Maybe thrice-worn socks still to be cleaned out in a bucket, swished in a little white bar of soap. It was like something had died and crawled too far back to be sniffed out. Just a putrid ghost hanging out in whatever corner it felt like. The roof of the former Jehovah's Witness was broad, slender beams meeting at the middle of a massive, obtuse roof. Little flecks of chipped masonry and plaster, dust balls, and mold spore would fall from ceiling to floor, maybe onto my shoulder. An unhealthy enough ray of dust and aura to reawaken the mind to humors, inextinguishable, instinctual disgust. But it left me awestruck. I observed "Fuck the Police" spray painted in blue on the pulpit's back wall, pulpit no longer included. I turned to Bailey. What else? Well, he huffed. First off, there's asbestos abuse, that crappy kind from back when it was legal. It's old now. Test positive form streptococci, black mold. That's just starters, his eyes rolling. When contractor guy Carlos, he comes in here, it's floor to ceiling stacked, moldy clothing and bacteria splattered on food containers, and Bailey talks. I pass along walls, empty. Floors empty, corners empty. I try to fill their blunted contours up with Bailey's remembered ruin. And in the imagination of unspace, nothing is forbidden. Not epic waste. Busted fridge, toilets up to here, and then over with shit. Holes in every annex wall. Foundation falling in the north at an alarming, crippling rate. This is a place that was this close to being condemned, he said, pinching thumb and index over squinted eye Pennywise. But I did a lot, he said, to keep this place from falling prey to other train wrecks of humanity, maybe into the indefinite, but much brighter future without them, at least. We close the chamber of disease behind us and walk out onto the surface of the moon. The city is there, but our lot is as dry as anything you've ever seen through a camera up top, up and over the world. 1820 turned to a garble to thud the steel as it was shut. Door's black shadow vanished as into the southern side's shining chip-sewn surface in the evening sun. I followed Bailey back into canopy, shade of his Baldura Midas touch, brown and beige desert camo two-tone. We studied the glare of a powdery blue afternoon, dust causing the sheen to intensify into an unlikely titanium, forest fires ashing the atmosphere. Tonight's the first night you'll sleep out here. It's the only night it's due to rain, and radio says it's likely to clear out before midnight. It's the only night you won't have to tent set up, ironically, so we'll put down some plywood. You gonna be all right with that? I'm gonna be fine. Better be, huh? You gotta keep it that way, man. You and me respect the other space, and whatever's mine's mine, yours is yours, okay? Whatever you say, dude, word is yours. That's what I like to hear, for sure, for sure. I was to keep the first watch that night, and Bailey went into his band to sleep through the afternoon and eve. I studied the moon's surface. A whale fall, this is the last piece of the selection. A whale fall is a phenomenology, skeletal city. Creature community is attached to stripped bones of a deceased and sunken whale. Whale identity, a partially preserved result of heavy stasis found in the most abyssal of ocean waters. Its denizens are numerous, populous, complex, and as long-lived as their host's body had once been in life.
Sorry, man.
Okay.
There's always You're working quite some time. Oh man. Oh yes. That was really cool. Man, I like that. It's like, I don't know. I kind of wish life was like a video game sometimes. Select item. Okay. Yeah, press A to select Bridget, my love.
Bridget.
Wow, Bridget,
That's my darling Bridget. She also did my makeup, by the way.
Darling
looks
makeup.
great. Good job.
Her makeup looks better though. I love you. Take it away, sweetheart.
Okay, so I'm trying to decide if I want to do the mushy poem first or the morbid poem first.
Mushy.
Mushy first?
Mushy.
Okay. So this was back before I had my son, and I was very much in baby fever. My sister had had a baby, and I was around him all the time, and I wanted a baby. It's called Babies. Soft and cuddly, cute and sweet, loud and noisy when they want to eat. Hands so small and not so tall, skin so soft, and they poop and stuff. Eyes a portal to all that's good, their mind a portal to all that should. Babies come and babies grow. Sometimes we wish they wouldn't go, but they must, don't you see, so they can become like you or me. Okay, and everyone's had that one boyfriend or girlfriend that kind of like throws you around, keeps coming back and forth on whether or not they want to be with you or not. And I got really tired of it, so I wrote a poem about it. And this was a long time ago. It says, do I love you or do I not? Should I keep you or should you rot? Picking hairs off one by one. Do I love you or do I not? Should I keep you or should you rot? Picking the hairs until they're gone. Do I love you or do I not? Should I keep you or should you rot? Peeling it off until it's gone. Do I love you or do I not? Should I keep you or should you rot? Down to bones, what's left now? Pick them apart till nothing's left. Do I love you or do I not? Should I keep you or should you rot? Will I make my choice in time or will you be gone when I've made my mind? Are you worth it? I can't tell. Picked you apart and scattered you around, but in my mind it's all still foggy. What should I do? Who will make up my mind? Me or you? Do I love you or do I not? Should I keep you or should you rot?
Thank you. I hope I never do that. All right. Ooh, we're like halfway through practically. So I think I'm going to do that thing that they used to do. You know, that thing called stand up, everybody. Ah, yeah. Now, you know, do one of these. And, not one of these. Now sit back down and enjoy the show, you know. And if I had show you, I'd also say enjoy that too. That stuff's delicious. You guys don't know what show you is? You know, it's a ramen thing. Anyway, Cohen. Yes. Yes. Take it away, Cohen.
There is a religion sweeping the globe that fascinates me. Everywhere I go, I see a minimum of 2 followers. When I turn on the TV, walk by a billboard, a radio, I hear them, see them. It is so interesting to see these beings. The ritual is very time-consuming, and the followers are highly devoted. The majority of their day consists with worship. Observing them, I have witnessed an act as follows. The person reaches in their pocket, pulls out a device that is flat, ranging from a hand's width to the size of a small picture frame. They tap it and bow their heads to it for periods of 30 seconds to an hour or more. Then the majority of them put it back down for no more than a couple of minutes to pick it back up and start the ritual over. The amount of attention to this ritual is close to meditation. I've asked the names of these deities they worship, and it is numerous. Facebook, Twitter, Tinder, Reddit, to name a few. How fascinating. When asked how to worship, I found you recite your past, your present, and future, ranging from feelings, ideas, actions, and landscapes. One must be careful when questioning these beliefs, as followers have a grave suspicion of non-believers. I have on many occasions been thoroughly questioned and outcasted from social gatherings when revealing my stance. In conclusion, there must be more research on the correlation to empathy and the reconstruction of socializing.
Thank you, Cody. Thank you very much. Okay. Will come on up to the stage and collect your door prize, which is 8 minutes of time.
So I don't have my book on me. This is the first time I'm going to do one from memory. So this poem is called Raise the Mic. No. This poem is called THC Part 1. Ash fingerprints on the page. Because I stay high while I write, I could practically call it an art supply. Praying at the altar of grandmother sativa, my chalice only smokes the finest kinds of Chiba Believer. I don't think I really know how to rap, but I will continue to not give a fuck. Keep smoking bud, keep feeling love, keep feeling the awe of her presence. Smoke trails never fails to show the truth in the essence. To the mighty Father Indica, you make my dreams spectacular. At the end of the day, all the pain fades away when I rest into your arms. Plant the seed in your garden. And you are now farming against terrorists making money off the ganja. It's ridiculous. So come and hit the split. Love organic, homegrown. Keep Eugene green in the 541. Smoke this blunt till it's done. We are the people having fun. In our universal knowledge of all being one. We are the indigo children. In the land where no one listens. Everyone wishing for some kind of peace. A day at least that everyone stops this ignorance feast. But no one knows how to achieve it. Only a few really believe it can happen. Even I've been surprised at the steps we've achieved. Not to say it's been a lot for this blind old hog, for this frog on a log that eats resources and shits out smog. I just smoke the sacred herb and pray to the mother we find our way, that we see the opportunity through the haze of a bad day. I see clarity in the smoke, purity in my toke. Your camping permit I revoke. It's cool to tell your story, but it's a pipe, not a mic. A current, not a fight, am I right? Might be a hair off kilter, no fuck word filter with a swagger you can't pilfer, because if you say it, you don't have it. And if you don't have it, or you don't say it, you have it, which is also a secret, but speaking in riddles is a bad habit I've developed like a balaclava enveloped around my truth. Can't be helped, I'm afraid. It's either a defense mechanism or the side effect of being born into prison, which is actually more like a mental prism, assigning your isms before you even know what they bring, or whose fucked up dream it was in the first place that put me in a race against my kin. The blood on my face and trying to keep pace does not become me. Not become me. I can't believe that we are all so lovely and all so bloody. We were taught to be gladiators, English language abbreviators, to be one who caters to the bringer of his serfdom. And I suppose when your fictitious dollar collapses, I'll protect myself with a Nerf gun. But ganja, the angel of my digressions, this poem took a total of 5 sessions to come to fruition. So blaze one up for the mother of creation. Love yourself and love each second you are given, for they are not given lightly upon you when you are creating the reality that you want to. Thank you.
Memorization. God, I gotta respect all you poets who memorize your works. I sure don't do it. That's hardcore. Anyway, we have a newcomer. His name is Damien, and I don't know where he is. Damien! Damien! Ah, there we go.
My voice is kind of messed up. Thank you guys for receiving me. This is called The Hungry Lion. It's called. I made this many years ago when I was in a time of despair, and there was a lot of things going on in my life. And it goes like this. I don't hate those who can't see my dreams, not because they're blinded by the light, or perhaps the fact that they lack the insight to success is not in the form of material riches, but to get a full stomach of these spiritual sandwiches. You see, fries and side orders, they'll come at no additional charges. Then your blessings, they'll be supersized. I'm talking triple extra larges. Humility, it'll exalt you in the minds and eyes of the people, although it's clearly evident that all are not your equals. No man is better than the other except for the value of his name. For how can a giver and a thief be called the same? He who loots the virtuality of today's youth, or a spiritual translator of the system's truth. Like I said before, the lion wants to have fun. But did you know fun for a lion means devouring someone? With an endless appetite that's more wicked than man. So keep watch and don't play catch me if you can. So I didn't get a chance to finish writing this one down. I did memorize it, but there's parts that I don't remember. So this one is called Whose World Do We Live In? Well, I hardly think that we should take the blame in this life that we live in any kind of way. Whose world do we live in? Who's going to pay the toll? Now, since you're forgiven, you won't have to sell your soul. We got to live for today, or maybe does tomorrow sound good? To seek our fortunes and fame, now we're high upon the mountains, and we're all feeling good. Whose world do we live in? Who's going to pay the price? And since you are forgiven, you won't have to roll the dice. See, I pray to God day to day, and I ask for his guidance. Heavenly Father, Josh, show me the way. In this world that we live in, God bless us all. This wicked world that we live in, so you won't have to take the fall. See, I send this out to the whole wide world as a message to every man, woman, boy, and girl. Whose world do we live in? And don't just take the cake. Look around the world where you live in and see if you can notice the snakes, destruction all around you. All these lies will drown you. Salvation, truth, and faith, they don't belong in this place. Whose world do you live in? All the signs are here that this world that we live in, the end isn't here. So what will you sacrifice?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Oh man, yeah, I haven't been saying enough fuck yeah tonight. Couldn't make up for that. All right. Come on up to the stage, Joshua. honest, I feel like with new people, I can sometimes make an exception about the poetry slot because shit, they weren't here when I said them.
Shit.
What are you doing?
You gotta feed that dog better food, that's all I got to say.
Oh man, that's
Well, let's see. A microphone and somebody else's poems here. Let me pull up what we got here. Last week, I promised to do Trains Make Love. And I have that further on down the line. But first of all, last week, if you recall, my sad heart wrote 3 divorce poems. And I decided to try to write divorce limericks. It didn't work. Because a limerick has to be funny.
Whoops, sorry about that.
Oh, God, I have to leave on.
Get back here. No, I'm setting the alarm.
So I tried one. Here's the first one. It's not funny. I'm caught on the horns of divorce and trying to master the force to extricate all of my things, large and small, and set myself on a new course. Rhymes, not funny. The second one, though, divorce is an unfunny topic. Your viewpoint is always myopic. You try to pretend that the torment will end, but your feelings are always flip-flopping. Thank you. Now, my mom, I remember we were talking about love here. My mom wrote this one. She said to me, "Do you love me or do you not? You told me once, but I forgot." And I wrote back to her, I said, "Of course I love you lots and lots, so don't give me no I forgots." This one, Mo asked last week for me to read this one again, and she ain't here, but I'll read it anyway. Tell Mo I did this.
I will.
Please do. Trains Make Love. I have an apartment over on Highway 99. Right, you think you're close to the tracks here? Okay. Lying in bed, my apartment next to the tracks, listening to the trains make love. Bam! Crash! Scream! Boom! They are not subtle about it. Though it is always in the dark and behind a fence. Maybe they think I can't hear them. Maybe they can't help themselves. Oh, to be a freewheeling train, slamming together in the dark with some gaudy boxcar or elegant tanker. Bam! Crash! But less metallic and with fewer screeching brakes. With some semi-love poems. It's kind of dark. No, that's kind of dark. No, I'll start with dark, and dark. Okay. It's called Assuming Reason. If the boulder ends up as sand, why not start with sand? Getting through all the laws of thermodynamics, inertia, dissipation, erosion on our way to sand, there is no why. Why is the insanity of our species beating themselves with the scourge of assuming reason, while the rain beats on the roof, knowing it will win? Let's see, we'll end on the up note, but we'll do this one, watching TV. Watching TV. I know how these stories end, all of them. The inciting incident is usually best, some parts of the rising conflict. The second act is always too long, and then the inevitability of the third, which leads to the end. A car chase, a wedding, a drawn-out fistfight or gun battle, a final showdown. A dog comes home, a family reunited, then hugs, tears, and kisses, and finality. I know how these stories end. They end with silence. And my Zen poem for the evening from my good friend Andrew. Walking to the river. The way is over deeded land. The act is quiet. Boots, walking stick, A meadow, a gravel road, a path slanting into the woods. Dark, wild, familiar. I have been here before. This is supposed to do something to me, but what? Make the problems go away? Turn back the tides of time? Restore innocence? The path is not too long. The woods chaotic and still, until the path falls into the river, 5 hues darker than the sky. The water clear and opaque simultaneously. Fluid patterns, fleeting as thoughts. And I see why I have come.
Fuck yeah!
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you.
What you doing over there? Playing with the. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing chopsticks with mind. Do it. I would if I knew how. Steve, do you think I know how?
How what?
Exactly.
How did you?
Anyway,
Let's get y'all set up here.
Higher.
Don't
run it too hard.
What do you
got? More.
More.
Good.
1 second, I was charging my phone.
These are MasterCard.
We don't accept American Express.
I'm gonna sneak out.
You have to excuse me. I've also been worshiping the mother of all creation. Went back a little bit.
Woo! Yeah.
All right. The sea. I miss the sea of my youth. I miss floating on my back. I miss staring at the clouds. More than this, I miss not knowing that nearly everyone is drowning, that I am drowning. I miss not looking around, seeing everyone struggle to keep swimming. I miss not knowing any one of them would push my head under just so they might use me to stop swimming for a single moment. I miss floating. I wish I remembered how. Maybe the sea of my childhood had just the right amount of salt, enough to help you float, but not enough to sting the eye. I wish I could find that sea again. I miss Mom, waiting with towel for me to get tired of all this swimming and lay on the shore. I haven't seen that shore in a long time. I miss not knowing what's sinking, what jobs, what rip tides, what addictions, what drowning, what loss, what waves too big for me to swim against felt like. I wish I could find that sea again. The lovers. In the room next door, keep their window open all night. They're sober. They don't drink. They don't smoke. I don't even hear them fuck. I don't know how they can be lovers at all. This one's kind of politically. It's, I've been recently pretty upset at old people for not doing more in the past. Because now we gotta do it in the present, and that ain't fair. You should have done it in the past. It's all your fault. Here's one directed you old people. You. No, it's good. The generation conversation. Ooh, I escaped the chains. He laughs. You must be lazy. Key still in his hand. These walls are strong. He built them. You must be crazy as the stones fall on my head. I earned this all. He didn't. Learn to praise me as I bleed, sweat, and cry. The pay is fine. The rent is fine. The war is fine. The lies are fine.
Oh yeah, there's something you should know. about Steve. He's the first of the 4 horsemen of the Poetocalypse. Yes, I know. But fear not. You all are here. You all are breathing and probably caffeinated. You've made it this far. And Gabriel is the 2nd horseman. Fuck yeah. Take it away. Woo!
Hey. Life a fucking trip, man.
It's a trip,
It is.
Long, strange trip into new.
It's called Death Rhymes with Life. We are riding the pulse, surfing the galactic vibrations, manifesting as colors, motions, movements, and smells. Palpitations of the collective heartbeat. We are the eternal washing machine, churning the salty, sweet soup of life. How gently the fluid moves across our skin, inside our veins and intestines, massaging all of our fears into our excrement. Sacrament. Saliva, solvent, solution. We are the palpable processing of pain and pleasure, strain and leisure, recycling forlorn forgiveness. The whirlpool, the chorus of our collective prayers, the sultry lullaby of the soul. So I'm going to read it that one. I feel like reading another one.
They're all on the stage, and no one takes it.
Ow!
Y'all are super beautiful, by the way. Thanks for witnessing me. I'm feeling like super raw tonight, which is cool because I like come up and do this shit all the time, and yet it super feels like taking like I'm on my edge, reaching out and being here with y'all. So appreciate it.
Fuck yeah!
Actually, I'm gonna just like speak from the heart real quick.
Ooh.
Sorry, I'm really trying to find what's like right for this moment, and that just feels like really right. Because that's what my life's been about, is like being really, really present lately, and like not trying to project like my notions of how things should be on the world. Yeah, we'll freestyle. Okay, so we're all asking the same question, like a million different ways, in a million different languages, to a million different gods that are all different heads, different limbs of a single tree. Like water or lungs or streets or arteries, we flood according to a pattern, appearing as chants, entrancing and enchanting the emotions and the minutes and the miles as they intertwine with smiles of doubts, of pains, of loves lost, loves leaning into lucid loving again and again and again and again and again, till death is love too, though. Death is love too, though. the feeling of movement, the feeling of stagnation dying, because anything dying is something reaching its peak and subsiding, such that a new peak can be formed again, because it is all peaks and valleys. It is all dots and blops on a grid. The things that live, the thing that is one undulating snake serpent loving itself again and again, like tentacles of an octopus rubbing itself in the infinite zen of nothing but self. And I'm feeling the pen as it's rushing myself out into the world to share the swirls that I embody and cry to nightly, alone, all one, integrating, tangled, luscious mess.
Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you. You know, I'm glad you made it, man. And I really hope that you're doing pretty decent, you know?
Oh.
Yeah. No, really, I mean,
Great.
anyway, we've got only 2 more horse people. Because we have a horse woman and then a horse man. And then the apocalypse. So get to your bomb shelters after this. All right. Anyway, now for the 3rd horsewoman. Horsewoman.
Come on, horsewoman.
I don't know. Of the poet's apocalypse. Fuck yeah.
It is Mary Kate! Yeah, you thought I wouldn't tell you. Of course it is.
So this might survive that. I know it's a new one, right? It's not the same one we were using before.
Well, let's see what happens.
All right, I've been working on this poem for Festival of Eugene, and I'm going to try it today with an introduction, and you can tell me whether you like the introduction or not. The poem is based on an ancient Scottish legend that's been kept alive for 400 years by song. And the legend tells of a woman who falls in love with a man who's been enchanted by the queen of the fairies, and it's up to her to rescue him. Depression was the temptress that beckoned you away. Once in her grasp, the mists of time shrouded your memories of me. Oh, she held you fast, whispering her venom in your ear. Still, I opened my heart to you, my body to you, my mind to you, and though you drank deep, you wouldn't touch my soul. You wouldn't reward me with the deep, full kiss I crave. Instead, you gave yourself to her, to be dragged below, appearing to me only in fleeting moments, then riding off again to your enchantment. And though I reached for you, I could never pull you from your mount. You endure the changes now, alone. In pelting hail, in driving thirst, in damp nights and searing afternoons. I know she beckons you still. And though you resist her haunting music, yet do you keep her alive in your heart. Your final mistress, your peaceful lover. And all she asks from you is everything you are forever will be.
Tell
Oh man, that's right.
Awesome. Intro good? Okay.
Intro's good.
We go a little bit.
Yeah, no, here, let me get you situated.
After read.
Slightly better.
And for those of you who are disappointed with our activism, 3 words: clean water act. Yes.
Clean water.
You wouldn't believe what the air used to be like when you had to cut through it with a knife.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I prefer to use a machete personally.
All right.
Keep it coming.
New stuff. We are the wild women of Whitaker. We gather beneath the great tree in joyful communion, becoming the wild women we were all meant to be. The wild women of Whitaker will not pick up your dirty underwear.
Wow.
We have dirty underwear of our own. But we will sing you to sleep when you're low, when your back is aching, when your aching is back. Soft melodies lilting through the air, spinning a tale that carries you away. Velvet oasis, killing your cares with kindness. We are the wild women of Whitaker. We gather beneath the great tree in joyful communion, becoming the wild women we were all meant to be. The wild women of Whitaker have come here to heal themselves, to heal their families, their lovers, their communities, knitting together the tattered edges of self, rediscovering the child inside of me, the child inside of you, rediscovering the childish glee that is our natural state. We are the wild women of Whitaker. We gather beneath the great tree in joyful communion, becoming the wild women we were all meant to be. The wild women of Whitaker do not need you to approve their luck, to approve of the perfect grip in the perfect spot of those perfect leggings on those perfect legs that come in every shape and size, just long enough to reach the ground. And don't ask me to shave. We are the wild women of Whitaker. We gather beneath the great tree in joyful communion, becoming the wild women we were all meant to be. The wild women of Whitaker walk the streets at night unafraid, or maybe just a little bit afraid, or in the shadows, and at the park, and down by the riverside. The broken children of man's decay live desperately, replaying the unfinished business of broken families, of broken promises. The world's broken children come to Whitaker, seeking something sweetly soothing, seeking the source of their divinity. We are the wild women of Whitaker. We gather beneath the great tree in joyful communion, becoming the wild women we are all meant to be. The wild women of Whitaker have their work cut out for them. Have a rare opportunity. An opportunity to be the voice, the face, the heart of kindness as our community moves forward to heal the battered children of man's decay. With our gardens and our chickens and our cider presses, with our art studios and our bike programs and our free pile, we discover the wild women of Whitaker are already leading the way. We are the wild women of Whitaker, gathered beneath the great tree in joyful communion, becoming the wild women we all hope to be.
You got time for one more short one.
I will. I have one more here, but I'm not super. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, one more short one. It's not even a page and a half.
It's like two.
Ready? Okay.
2 minutes.
To a lover I haven't met yet. Awaiting your appearance, life's cheap thrills begin to lose their charms. If only I could conjure you, even in a dream, identify the target. Are you hiding in plain sight, a mere second away? Or is this feeling of nearness, this looming emotional precipice, merely a comforting illusion I'm using to keep from crying, to keep on hoping, searching, trying, to remain open to possibilities of bliss? Without you, life is all question marks, and even this poem seems unfinished.
Goodness. I know. Hey, how many of you have like a glass or something? A glass? Okay, let's raise a glass to the wild women of Winnipeg. All right, fantastic. Now put it down right now. Okay, good job. All right. We have reached the final poet. Oh, yes. But I would like to say this night is my favorite night of the week. All the other nights can no fucking become Tuesday. I don't care. Friday sucks compared to Tuesday. I don't care. Yeah, Friday people can go to the bars or whatever and drink off their weekend warrior, whatever. But this is page 2 poetry at Cush. Where only once a week you get to hear the best poetry in Eugene, in my opinion. And probably in your opinions too. It's not a competition. It's not a cult yet. Oh, yes. I don't know. You guys have helped keep this alive. You know, I mean, I'd still be doing it even if it was just me, Andrew, and Bridget, or even just me. I'd still do it. You know, but the fact that there's a room full of people, some of which I know, a lot of which I have no idea how they found out, Eugene Weekly. I mean, it's great. You guys make it happen. Give yourself a big round of applause. Make your hands go now, clap so hard. And give all the poets a big round of applause. Anyway, I believe we have a newcomer for our 4th horseman of the Poetocalypse. And his name's Bo. So give him a warm welcome. If you thought you were done clapping, you're nowhere near. Yeah, don't smoke.
So, I'm really new to obviously this place. You guys are so awesome, by the way. I really love it. It's great.
Into the mic.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Or you can situate yourself.
And yeah, so I was saying, oh, that's the wrong one to do. This guy, right?
Yeah, you know what? Let me do this. I do this for a living.
Okay.
I get free bread and stuff. I can make it. Yeah.
I think this is better. Yeah, cool. So I want to say you guys did awesome. James, you're awesome. It's really great. Like, it was great listening. I usually do a lot of music stuff, but recently I've been trying to, write a lot more stuff and yeah. So my first poem is going to be, have you guys ever gotten in that position where you are trying to explain something to someone and it's just coming out as more words and words and words and words? Well, this is my process of doing that to someone who I just couldn't get the idea across to. All right. Knowing what has yet to come is knowing the unknown. The unknown as a concept, instead of knowing the details of the unknown possible. Accepting present decisions as knowledge lacking the discovery of the possible, of the unknown. To know or not to, this is curiosity. Curiosity prevents assumption, which in turn acknowledges possibility. As such, we can come to the conclusion that anything is possible, and possible is anything. The real obstacle The one that prevents us from living is being comfortable, not knowing the unknown. That is the obstacle, but overcoming the obstacle can be living. That is the only way, in the end, to know. If you are scared of not knowing, live, and you will know. Live, explore, and discover. In this is the decision without knowledge lacking. It differs from knowledge lacking. In this, you can know everything will be fine. This one, Andrew, I showed Andrew this, and he apparently liked it, so I hope you guys do too. This is called The Moment That Changed. Watch the trees. See how they move. Watch me breathe and share the moon. Sometimes breaking away from busyness is business. The trees, how they sway. The moment that changed, it's the moment that I need. I can still remember the want for opportunity that believes in me. Mock the seas, see how they swoon. Carried away and be where the moon is. Connection's affection is lost at sea. At the brink of my mind is calm, collected, and free. Sometimes staying away from busyness is business. The trees, they will sway. The moment that changed, it's the moment I need. I can still remember the want for opportunity that believes in me. Do you remember when play was a focus for us, not a stage to act on, when genuine was enough? It would have helped not to think of what love was, to just be given what was gave and behave just because. Sometimes being okay with busyness is business, and the trees, they will sway. The moment that changed, it's the moment I need. I can still remember the want for opportunity that believes in me. Woo!
All right. Ah, yes. Thank you, Bo. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was thinking about reading a bonus poem.
Bonus.
So I would like to a raise of hands for who the fuck wants to hear that. And some social commentary of sorts. Take it or I don't give a shit. I love it. Anyway. Today is a good day to get a new job. I was thinking of becoming a news anchor, but that wretched self-expression keeps invading my dull sense of being. Could it be that I am actually living in a hellscape known by many as the burbly burbs of sub-shitstorm America? I want the world to bliss out. Just this one time. Everybody could have been doing what's been done. And yelling at those who are too young to know any better or butter. 2 weeks ago, I was banned from the secondhand store. They sure were dicks about a naked man asking to borrow a fur coat and $15 out of the register. Human votes are like money in the pocket of sociopathic economic demons like Azazel and Beelzebub in Babylon. Every 4 years or so, a new round of political cartoons entertain my jaded mind with pictures of famous fuckers with giant ears and claymation skin. Jokes about swords and weak ducks, satire about the left wing and the right wing and the idea of two parties and of violence and America and the rest of the world.
America.
This is some of the best social commentary I have yet seen. Less preachy than television, and with a twist of never fully being understood or quoted by the majority of young teenagers. is good stuff. Because there is something wrong with a country where people learn lessons from the Sunday night comedy slam. Do me a favor and spare me your radical ideology. Because for some reason, whenever I encounter you holy rollers of your own movements, y'all seem to want me to join you or fall. It's boring as shit and kind of pathetic, really. Because the noble conquest will become another old trend, and all these thoughts of bricks through storefront windows as well as a burning White House will grow up and stop having pube beards and acne. Violence is a contagious social scabies, where it infects the skin and body, and the angrier and crazier the world gets, the further along the scabies has gotten into infecting every living thing. Do me a favor and wash your fucking hands before coming inside. Some of us might not want to catch your bullshit sickness. Yeah, I know it was a little preachy, but still, I kind of felt like ranting about blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? Thank y'all for coming. This is Fake Sheep Bullshit. I only have one more thing to say as a reminder. Okay, starting next week, sign-ups at 7. And the show starts at 7:30, so, you know, try and get here earlier if you can. If not, if it's thin list, I'll probably sign you up anyway if it's thin. But if it's full list, haha, sorry. Anyway, y'all rock. I love you guys. Have a good night.
What do you think? You like?